You are listening to episode 9 of the Aligned Actor podcast. This episode is all about my new favorite way of looking at the highs and lows, the actor roller coaster, as it were, of my career. And it's really been helping me this week. For a while, I would just kind of even keel my way through the career, not getting too excited about things in case they didn't go my way. I wanted to be practical. I wanted to protect myself from the pain if something didn't go my way. But recently I've come to realize that I was kind of just lying to myself, and that felt kind of icky. I kind of came to this realization that I was like, oh, I don't like this either. This isn't helping. And so I've been trying something new this week, and I think I really love it. We'll see how it works out long term. Maybe I'll do a future episode about, 6 months from now, how this is working for me. Anyway, because I think from a conscious creator standpoint, it's really important to actually let ourselves celebrate and get happy and excited about all the good things that happen in our careers, like auditions and callbacks and all the stuff that's like, oh, yes, things good. I want these things. These are good things. Because then we become a vibrational match to manifesting more of those things. But yeah, I get it that when you get really excited about those things, then it can follow that if they don't go our way, we can feel a greater disappointment because we let ourselves get really excited and really hopeful and thinking about being on set and all that stuff. And then if you don't get to do it, it's kind of a letdown, right? But this new idea came into my awareness this week, and it's letting me finally feel all of my feelings. So all of those high joys and the lows, and just ride the roller coaster. And it's making it okay to go up and down. And it's working for me. I really like it. I gotta tell you, so far, it's really pretty great. Because ultimately, guys, emotions are meant to flow. And when we let them flow and we don't resist them or we don't stuff them down, when we can just say out loud, I feel sad right now that I didn't book that job. And we don't get stuck in them. We don't get stuck being like, no, I'm fine, whatever, it's no big deal. Then they move on much faster. That sadness processes through our bodies and we release it much more quickly than if we just sort of ignore it and sweep it under the rug and stuff it down and cast it aside and ignore it and pretend it's not there. It kind of sticks around longer. What we resist persists, right? So this idea has been really helping me that I'm going to get into in this episode of the podcast. So I hope you find it helpful too, as helpful as I've been finding it. You may not, and that's okay too, because we all got to find what works for us, right? But I thank you for tuning in today to listen to what I've been working on this week, and I hope it helps you, because that's kind of the only reason I do this podcast is to share what's been working for me in hopes that these strategies or some of these strategies will work for somebody else too. So anyway, all right, that's enough. So let's get into it. Please enjoy. Welcome to the Aligned Actor podcast. I'm Amy Schlerb, and I am an actor and a student of conscious creation, looking to learn, grow, and share my experiences with you so that together we can master our mindsets and manifest the careers of our dreams. Let's play. Hey guys, welcome to another episode of the podcast. There's an airplane going over, as per usual, because I live in a flight path. But that has nothing to do with what I'm going to talk about. So this week, I've been having a lot of feelings, good and bad, about my acting career. And now I feel inspired to share some new ideas with you that have been really helping me. And I've thrown this together over the last couple days. I've been kind of working on it a little bit. So I hope it all kind of comes together and tracks and makes sense and that you can follow it. And if not, maybe I'll re-record it. I don't know. Let's just dive in and see what happens. So here goes. So a little background. One of my favorite podcasts is called The Art of Living Big, and it's by Betsy Paik. And she had another great episode this week. I will put a link in the show notes, and I also shared it in our Facebook group. You can find that facebook.com/groups/the Aligned Actor Community. So anyway, so this episode this week from Betsy Paik was all about being in the arena. And she was referencing the Theodore Roosevelt quote, which I will read to you in a minute. And the overall takeaway that I had from the episode was to kind of take a step back and kind of look at the areas of my life and ask myself, what areas of my life am I not fully invested in? Or am I not fully in the arena? Where am I holding back in order to protect myself? And this quote and this idea really spoke to me as an actor. And it's been helping me deal with all of the crazy high and low emotions that we can encounter in this career. Because in experiencing this, little emotional roller coaster this week, I came to realize that, this is only happening because I am fully in the arena when it comes to my acting career. Like I've invested fully. I'm all in. And that's very exciting to me. So recently I've been having these great highs in my career that I've been having so much fun celebrating and just embracing their awesomeness. And even though to others they may seem kind of small, I kind of decided there's no such thing as small anymore. Good is good is good, and I'm going to celebrate it all because that's fun to me. And also I've been having to, like we always do, wait to hear about things. And then sometimes you hear not so great news or nothing at all. And, like getting ghosted, like we talked about in episode 4 on reframing rejection. That happens a lot in this career and you have to deal with it. So I had been thinking about, what's the safest and sanest way to ride this roller coaster? Like what could I be doing to kind of make this easier on myself? And I think just this week, thanks to listening to this Betsy Paik podcast, where she talked about this Theodore Roosevelt quote, which I promise we're going to get to in just a minute, about being in the arena, I've decided that, at least for me, there is no quote unquote safe or quote unquote sane way to do this career. To me, there's no way to do this without letting myself get giddy and hopeful with every audition. And then on the flip side, acknowledging and allowing myself to feel sad if I don't book. Because I feel sad when I don't book a job. At least a little bit. I know it's not practical to book every job. I'm not going to book every job. We all kind of know that going into this career, and we all kind of acknowledge that. But you still feel a little sad, don't you? I do. And for the longest time, I was lying to myself and be like, no, I'm fine. I'm good. It's fine. Like, I know I can't book every job. I'm totally good. But I was lying to myself, and I don't want to do that anymore. At this point, I got to just strap in, hold on, and ride the roller coaster and love it exactly as it is. And I think that to do so is actually a beautiful, beautiful thing because it means I'm in the arena. And now it's time for the quote. I promised we would get there. See, and we're here. We're already at the quote, guys. And then we're going to talk through it a little bit. So this next part, this is now Theodore Roosevelt. Teddy Roosevelt? Theodore. I didn't know the man. We'll call him Theodore. So this is his voice, but I'm going, well, it's my voice, but this is him. You get it. Okay, here we go. It is not the critic who counts. Not the man who points out how the strong man stumbles or where the doer of deeds could have done them better. The credit belongs to the man who is actually in the arena, whose face is marred by dust and sweat and blood, who strives valiantly, who errs, who comes short again and again, because there is no effort without error and shortcoming. But who does actually strive to do the deeds, who knows great enthusiasms, the great devotions, who spends himself in a worthy cause, who at the best knows in the end the triumph of high achievement, and who at the worst, if he fails, at least fails while daring greatly, so that his place shall never be with those cold and timid souls who neither know victory nor defeat. Okay, so now back to me. Okay, so here's what this means to me as an actor. To me, reminding myself that I'm, quote, in the arena makes it safe to allow myself to fully feel all the highs and the lows, the full roller coaster of emotions that come with being an actor. The highs of auditions, callbacks, bookings, straight offers, awards, and, then all of the lows of slow months, not booking, getting so close only to be released from a veil. That one hurts, doesn't it, guys? Getting dropped by an agent? Yep, been there. Being rejected from a film festival? Oh, several times. I'm going to stop now because this is starting to get depressing, right? Yeah, it sucks. It really, really does. But guess what, guys? If you've ever had those lows and they've hurt like hell and they've made you cry and scream and want to pull your hair out, you are in the arena. So many people are on the sidelines because this is hard stuff. But you're in the arena. It is not the critic who counts, not the man who points out how the strong man stumbles or where the doer of deeds could have done them better. So all of your family or other people in your life that are, when are you going to make it? Are you really, what are you doing? All of this kind of stuff. Stop listening to them, and especially stop listening to that inner critic, because that's the one that beats you up the most, right? It's the one that beats me up the most. It didn't do anything. It did not put itself out there. You did. The credit belongs to the man or woman who is actually in the arena. And that's you and me. If he fails, at least fails while daring greatly. Letting myself get my hopes up, letting myself want the job, and thereby risking the pain of disappointment, that's daring greatly. That's being in the arena. So many people wish they were in the arena, but they don't dare to enter out of fear. And I get it, it's scary. Because to ride this roller coaster takes guts and tenacity and stick-to-itiveness and passion and everything you've got. So this week I was thinking, I'm feeling down about not hearing about this job, and it's making me feel sad. And I love that about myself, which is another Betsy Bake tactic, that you kind of flip something that you're ordinarily would be upset about for yourself. You're like, oh, I don't like that I feel sad right now. Instead, you say, I love that about myself, because it means that I'm doing exactly what I should be doing. It means that I love acting enough that I want to book jobs. It means that working as an actor is important to me. If it wasn't important to me, I could just walk away from this career. I wouldn't care about booking jobs. I think we gotta want it. And I'm not talking about being desperate. To me, that's need. And I think it's a subtle distinction, but I think it's different to want something. To me, needing feels like I can't breathe. Like I'm cut off from my body. I'm cut off from some part of myself. But wanting feels, this is going to sound weird, but it feels kind of sexy. Like I feel it like everywhere in my body. It's like I'm all in with my whole body, and wanting something actually feels really good to me. So I don't need to book this job. I fully recognize and acknowledge that I will be fine, quote unquote, either way, but boy, do I want it. I want it so bad I can taste it. And that's what being in the arena means to me. That's what it is to dare greatly. Letting myself want, and then allowing myself to feel bruised and bloodied if it doesn't go my way. I'm in the arena. And yeah, it's messy, but I love it. And if I fail, at least I fail while daring greatly. Okay, so slight side note, because I think this is a pretty important point, so I want to make sure that I throw this idea in here too. But I think there's a difference between letting myself want something and thereby risking the disappointment of not getting it, and letting that disappointment be disappointment that I didn't get to do the thing I wanted to do. Like it's just regular sort of run-of-the-mill disappointment, I guess. Rather than letting that disappointment over not booking something means something about me as an actor. Okay, so I'm going to explain this a little bit. So I can feel disappointed about not booking without letting it mean that no one wants to work with me and I'm a horrible actor. Or, well, I didn't book this job, so that means I can't book jobs. Or, what is wrong with me? Like, this is ridiculous. I can't book jobs and I'm a horrible person and I should just move home and all that kind of stuff. No. I think a lot of us are scared to let ourselves feel the highs, because then the lows end up feeling a lot worse and they end up meaning something about us. But really, every time I've uttered the phrase, yeah, I'm on a veil, but I'm not letting myself get my hopes up. I'm not getting my hopes up. I'll be fine either way. Yeah, I'm lying to myself. My hopes are already up. I just don't want to admit it because I think it will hurt less if I pretend that, it's all cool. But it really doesn't. I tried it that way for a long time, guys, and everything still hurt like hell. I just didn't want to admit it. And, and then it kind of felt even worse. So I'm gonna try it this new way. It's okay to feel sad. I'll live. I'll process it. I'll move on. And it doesn't have to mean anything about me as an actor other than that I'm in the arena and sometimes I'm gonna get bloodied and bruised, just like the A-lister whose series gets canceled or, their pilot doesn't get picked up. It hurts. I think it's important for us to acknowledge that it hurts. And we can let it hurt without letting it mean anything about us. It doesn't mean we're bad actors. It doesn't mean we're never going to work again. It just means we didn't get a job. It just means things didn't go our way. And we can be sad and still live. So from now on, whenever I get down because maybe something didn't go my way in my career, I'm going to remind myself that I only get to feel this way because I'm in the arena. And I'm lucky to be here. I chose to be here. I want to be here. I want to feel all the highs and all of the lows too. And I get to, draw on them to fill out the emotional life of my next great character, right? And the lows are just part of being in the arena and they don't mean anything about me. And they don't mean anything about you. You are a good actor. You are doing what you're supposed to be doing. So I'm curious to hear what you all think of this idea. To me, it kind of feels a little radical. It's very different from everything else I've ever been doing. Maybe you completely disagree with me, and that's okay. Maybe the way that you navigate this career is by, never getting too excited about things. And hey, I get it. That was me for a really long time. And then I decided I didn't want to do that anymore. It's too fun to feel the excitement. But, you do you. whatever you can do to stay in the game, that's the whole point of this mindset stuff, is we do whatever we can to stay in the game, stay in the arena. And you still are in the arena. Maybe you just have a lot more armor on or something. And I've decided that I'm going to just be in a loincloth. I don't know. Anyway, please come play with us in the Facebook group. It's been growing slowly but surely, and we've been having a lot of fun in there. You can find that by going to facebook.com/groups/the Aligned Actor Community, and we're having a lot of fun in there. Come tell me what you think about this, and we'll talk about it, and we'll come up with more fun things to all do in there as a group. So yeah, I'll see you in the arena, guys. Okay, take care. Bye-bye. Thank you so much for spending some time with me today. If you feel inspired to do so, please subscribe, rate, review, and share this podcast with your actor pals so that more people can enjoy the good vibes. Also, be sure to join the Aligned Actor Community on Facebook by going to facebook.com/groups/the Aligned Actor Community. That's the place where this podcast gets interactive. It's a pretty fun party. You're going to want to get in on it. Until next time, remember, you are an amazing actor and you are creating the career of your dreams. Congrats!